City of Stevens Point Joint Review Board meeting, recorded September 27, 2023.
I think we can still call the meeting to order.
Yes.
So I'll call the meeting to order, and Maria, are you doing the roll call or is that Ryan?
Weaver.
Here.
Kozlowski. Here. Owens is not here. Breckbauer. Here. Weiss. Here. We have a quorum.
All right. We only have a few items on the agenda. The first one is the election of and or the reaffirmation of myself as chairperson.
So move.
Second.
The motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's approved. Item number 3 is consideration and appointment or reaffirmation of the Joint Review Board's public member as John Schleiss. I will move approval of that.
Second it.
Seconded by Pavelski. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? And that's approved. Item number 4 is the approval of the minutes from our Joint Review Board organizational meeting of December 12th, 2022. Those minutes were included in your packet.
Move approval.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? And that is approved. Item number 5 is the review of the annual PE 300 reports and the performance and status of the city's active tax incremental financing districts. Director Karnowski, you want to take that one?
I'll take it over to Mr. Laddick.
Okay, so I provided the reports and then also the summary sheet in the front, which is a little bit easier to follow than trying to dig through the reports to get out all the information. The first sort of half of the sheet there, financial information year-end 2022, shows the performance for 2022. As you can see, our TIF districts are making significant progress, which is great. You can see TIF District 6 was down $2.2 million as far as in the negative at the start of the year, ended the year only down $780,000. So definitely seeing a lot of progress on getting that TIF district back above water. And actually for 2023, TIF District 6 should be back above water, which is great because that's a TIF district that definitely had a significant deficit. So it's nice to see that finally getting cleared. And then also TIF District 8, you can also see is also has a negative balance, but has made some significant progress as well for 2022. And we expect that to continue for 2023 and 2024. And really by the end of 2024, for sure, I'd say TIF District 8 should be back above water as well, which is good. That would bring all of our TIF districts more or less above water. You also notice that we've got a somewhat significant ending balance in TIF District 9 of almost $1.8 million. And we do have a lot of plans for that TIF district. So it's good that we've got the cash there because we will have to extend some road and utilities. We're looking at doing a rail spur next year. So definitely positive to see that cash. And then the other one that I wanted to note is for TIF District 11, which is the North Side Overlay TIF District. It's where the convent development has happened. It's also where you have the new Banter apartments on the former Point Motel site. You'll see that ended up with a pretty significant cash balance at the end, and that's just because we borrowed money to pay for development incentives. We typically don't pay out those development incentives until the project is at least 75% or even 100% complete. So that's why that larger balance was showing at the end of the year as the cash on hand because we've got that cash to pay those development incentives. So, and then if there are no questions, I guess moving on, you can see the increment information on the bottom half by, and I kept it all by budget year. But as you can see, the increment values did increase, really across the board. Some of the biggest, one of the biggest increases was TIF District 9, the East Park Commerce Center TIF District. You can see that increased fairly substantially in value from 139 million to 196 million. A big piece of that was Delta Dental. So certainly nice to see those incremental values increasing as we've had developments happening. And then if you go on to the back of the page, this is kind of a snapshot into the future, looking at what our 2023 values were and what our 2024 values are going to be. And again, this is by the budget year that it affects. And you can see that some of those values are decreasing quite a bit. And the reason for that is because we did conduct a citywide revaluation. With that revaluation, there was a shift basically in value from basically from commercial properties to residential properties. So that did hurt some of the TIF districts, in particular. TIF 5 took a hit with the revaluation, and then TIF 10 also took a pretty significant hit in terms of the overall value. So going into the 2024 budget for those TIF districts, you know, it's just a little bit tighter as far as the amount of money that we have, you know, available to spend in those districts, or the amount that we have coming in. So that's kind of my quick, 5-minute summary. I don't know if anyone has any questions on anything.
Questions for the comptroller? If not, I would entertain a motion.
Will we accept the reports, place them on file?
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Okay, seconded. John, I'm going to pause because it looks like you might have a question.
Have you ever had valuations go down? Because of reassessing.
So we've had some reductions in valuation, but the reassessment is the biggie.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the last time we did a revaluation, there was some impact on the TIF districts as well, because we had the same kind of thing happening where you've got that shift from commercial to residential. So, yeah, but this, year it was really pronounced as far as that shift. And that's also going to have an impact on our taxpayers, pretty significantly in many cases. So.
Yeah, there's going to be some phones ringing when the tax bills come out.
This is people.
Yes.
Okay, I'll approve. Second.
Okay. All right. Discussion. Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
And that is approved. Director's report.
Thank you. The only real reason that we included this on here, and not to get into a lot of specific detail for this body, the city is currently in the process of courting an international company to East Park Commerce Center. That they haven't formally gone through the process of asking for incentive, but we expect that something will be coming down the pipeline there. It's just the nature of economic development in 2023. And so one of the challenges that we're running into, of course, is that TIF 9 is nearing the end of what I'll call its useful life or its expense period. And so we need to be cognizant of that as we continue to not only court this specific developer, but other developers into the future. Because we're coming up on the end of its expenditure period, we are looking at, as city staff, pursuing special legislation to allow us to go and establish another TIF district. The state of Wisconsin only allows up to 12% of our equalized value to be within TIF districts. Within the most recent revaluation, that number is about 13.9%, 13.6, sorry. And so we are technically over that, but through special legislation that we're working on with senators Tested and Representative Shankland, we are asking for an exemption of that for what would be TIF district number 14. Of course, because this body has ultimate authority on review and approval of TIF districts, coupled with the city's council, we are just kind of throwing this out there as an FYI. We are hopeful that in the next year we'll be able to establish TIF 14 as an overlay in TIF number 9 for East Park Commerce Center, and that we'll be able to use the next 20 years or so to continue and encourage future development within East Park Commerce Center. So I'm happy to answer any other questions as it relates to that, but I just wanted to make sure that this body was aware that we are pursuing that. The city council is aware that we're pursuing it and have given us the green light to go forward with the special legislation. That's all I have.
Good. And that's all we really wanted to make sure you guys knew. Is that at some point in the future here, we're hoping to have a special meeting to establish that new TIF. And seal the deal with this development and ensure some further development going forward in the East Park Commerce Center.
Are your maps online for all these?
TIFs, yep.
And if John, if you prefer, I can give you a physical copy or I can email you.
All right.
Anything else from anyone regarding the director's update? All right, then with that, our agenda is exhausted and we are adjourned at 1:14. Thank you.
Thank you.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.